So what should we do when they turn our drone into goo? The Pentagon is blaming Russian fighter jets for causing a U.S. drone to crash into the Black Sea. Sorry, person of color sea. On Tuesday. Worse, the drone was shot down just 2 days after its warranty expired from Radio Shack. Putin denied responsibility so quickly, he's been made an honorary Clinton. Those jokes never get old. Speaking of Russia, Ron DeSantis is getting pushback from fellow righties for insinuating that further U.S. involvement in the war in Ukraine is not vital to our national interest, unless you think our national interest is starting World War III. But at this point, with so much already invested in Ukraine, withdrawing support is easier said than done. I just came up with that. Maybe as president, DeSantis might be able to do what no Biden can do, pull out in time. Terrible. KT applauding that one. Wow. Meanwhile, the Pentagon's focused on more important stuff, aliens, and not the ones complaining about our free food and hotel rooms. A top official says they could be visiting our solar system in a big mothership. Mother? Ugh. And releasing probes near Earth, which might explain that weird soreness I feel when I sit down. This, as the Navy plans to increase climate spending almost 40% in 2024. They're asking Congress for $400 million for electric vehicles and solar microgrids, because nothing inspires fear like a battleship with an extension cord. I can see it now. We can't go to war, Mr. President. Someone forgot to charge up our aircraft carriers. KT, there's a lot of parts to this segment, so I don't know which topic you want to hone in on. Personally, I don't think the drone getting close to our plane or the vice versa is that big of a deal. No. Yeah, I mean, what's the Black Sea anyway? It's almost kind of Russia.
It's international water, so
yeah.
It's a deal, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, DeSantis is right. When he talks about vital national interests, this is the difference. There's vital national interests for which we would go to war, and there are interests and national interests for which we might try to affect the outcome, but we don't necessarily send in the Marines. DeSantis was right to say this is not in our vital national interests. However, you want to stop the Ukraine war in about 6 months? Okay, here's the answer.
Yes.
Okay, here's the answer. Number one, stop the war on American fossil fuels so that American oil producers and natural gas producers start pumping it out. We become not just energy independent, we become energy dominant. That's the word. And that drives the price of oil and natural gas down. Russia's bankrupt within 6 months because it requires all of that. That's how it's paying for the war, is the high price of oil and gas. Within 6 months, Russia's bankrupt. You force them to the negotiating table. You find a deal, and then Ukraine wins the peace because 5 years after the fighting stops, Ukraine is a fully integrated economy into Europe. And what's Russia? Low gas prices, it's bankrupt. A war that it didn't win, it's a pariah state. So Russia's finito.
Well, you know, that sounds too easy. The great thing about the 5 viewers that a lot of them don't watch this show, so I'm going to just say what you said tomorrow. And I'm going to call it the Gutfeld doctrine. Tom?
Yes.
Steal it outright. No one will think that I stole it from
No,
KT.
I like it. I like it.
Do you agree that could it be that simple?
I don't know if it is, Greg. I was going to talk about the aliens.
Yes, please do. I know you hate them.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in aliens because I believe in Jesus, and I feel like he would have mentioned the aliens. I think he would have said something. I mean, I don't think he would have said what planet they are on, but I think he would have mentioned. He would be like, I will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead, and I'll try to get here before the spacemen. You know, I think he would have mentioned that they were, you know.
Maybe he didn't want to spoil the surprise.
I mean, no, that's a possibility, but
what if Jesus was an alien? Can I say that?
No.
Is that sacrilege?
I think, yeah, that would, if anything is, maybe that's it.
I'm a Catholic, you know.
No, that's
Barely.
why you should take it back, Greg.
No, but I mean, it's like if you have a more universal idea of the afterlife, the afterlife could be. But see, this is the thing about doctrine, and you believe it a certain way, but it could be, you know, you could be living a simulation. You don't know. I mean, it could be You know, any.
Yeah, you like that simulation thing. I'm not that into that.
I know. Yeah. Doesn't have as interesting reading
Yeah.
as Catholicism. Let's move on from this very awkward religious moment that I'm sharing. Kat, do you want to cover aliens or drones or DeSantis or climate funding? There's a lot of options there.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. The climate funding actually concerns me less than the amount of funding. The military budget that Biden is demanding is either the largest in peacetime or the largest in history, period, depending on who you ask and how they look at those numbers.
If you look at inflation, he's actually cutting defense spending.
But we're supposedly not at war and not thinking about going to war, and I just don't buy it. I have some concern about it. I think there's a lot of distraction of, if anybody asks any questions about this war, there's a lot of pile-on of, well, is this person a Russian operative? When really, you have many legitimate reasons to question this, and you should question most things, but to question this in particular when you look at history and also when you look at the present. And it's just that kind of catch-all term when anyone dares to do it that makes me want to question.
You're in Putin's pocket.
See, like that.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that's what they say.
Yeah.
I don't say you're in Putin's pocket.
You're in Putin's pocket. You're Putin puppet, and then like
Putin apologist.
Yeah, and then like a bunch of other people be like, "Ooh, got him," and it's like, who are these people? What do you do?
Spend 2 weeks in Putin's pocket, and they call you Putin. You're in Putin's pocket. All right, Douglas. Thoughts on Ukraine? I'm sure you have some. You went there.
Yeah, I was there recently. I'm more interested in the aliens, I have to say.
Okay, let's go with the aliens.
Well, because you know that cartoon we all had when we were growing up, where the like little men with like antennae like that get out of a spaceship and they come to a human being and they say, "Take us to your leader." It feels to me like that we're close to that point. And that when we introduce them to the president, they're going to say, "You're joking, right?"
Yeah.
This is.
You know,
No.
Trump would be great with the aliens.
Oh, he'd love it.
yeah.
Come on. You guys got to try the steaks. Have you had a Trump steak?
He'd say we fell in love.
We fell in love. We fell in love. And by the way, best aliens. They're the best aliens ever. No wall. No wall for these aliens. Right? You know? Anyway. That's not even a good impression. I don't try. Story of my life.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.